This is OneWrestling.com, 24/7 wrestling news.
I gotta say, one of the biggest swerves in TNA history. Did you expect it, ladies and gentlemen? I didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ray's Wrestling Show. I am the Mark of the Masses, the man with a plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some TNA Today Impact 117-13 in one of the most interesting turn of events, again, in TNA history. Ladies and gentlemen, I spoke about last week on my Genesis recap that TNA is going to be dwindling their pay-per-view schedule to just 4 major events. Therefore, and again, my opinion, I felt it was a good thing because they're going to be able to focus on the weekly shows. They'll be able to put more into the weekly shows, make the weekly shows more interesting. Well, this week was interesting, and I did not expect what I saw. Let's jump right into the show, ladies and gentlemen. We walk into the Impact Zone, and it looks like a freaking wedding chapel. Beautiful. They got the cake. They got the decorations. Everything is looking so good. We have Bully Ray backstage, and he's acting like a 20-year-old guy. But the fact of the matter is, he's marrying a 20-year-old girl. And he's backstage acting all giddy like a young kid. And he's greeted by Spike Dudley and Tommy Dreamer. So they're backstage, and Brooke is backstage with the TNA Knockouts. She's getting all pretty and all made up and yada, yada, yada. And one of the Knockouts asks the question, is Hulk Hogan, your daddy, going to walk you down the aisle tonight? That is the question, ladies and gentlemen. We'll find out later tonight. But Jeff Hardy goes to the ring. We move on. Jeff Hardy goes into the ring, and he puts over the main event of Genesis. He puts over Bobby Roode. He puts over Austin Aries, saying they're the best wrestlers in wrestling today, so on and so forth. And I agree. And ladies and gentlemen, a "you still got it" chant breaks out in the crowd. Jeff Hardy looked confused. I was confused. Is Jeff Hardy a 60-year-old Hall of Famer? Why were they saying "you still got it"? I mean, he should still have it. He's in the freaking prime of his career. Again, that's my opinion. I'd like to know what you guys think. But, really weird. Anyway, I'm gonna make this really long story short. Jeff Hardy hits the ring, putting over the event. Bobby Roode and Austin Aries. I'm sorry, not Bobby Roode and Austin Aries, but Kaz and Daniels come into the ring, and they basically start trashing Jeff Hardy. Now we know that Daniels is the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think it's going to be phenomenal. Well, they get into it, and basically they get into a physical altercation with Jeff Hardy, and they start beating the living daylights of Jeff Hardy when Mr. Sorry About Your Damn Luck comes to the ring to make the save, Cowboy James Storm, and we have a match, ladies and gentlemen. Cowboy James Storm, Jeff Hardy versus Bad Influence. Really, really good match. We're going to wind down the match where we have Kaz and Jeff Hardy in the ring, and Jeff Hardy hits the twist of fate for the 1-2-3. But ladies and gentlemen, Cowboy James Storm has been taken outside the ring. He's been taken out. And Daniel sneaks in from behind, hitting Jeff Hardy with the World Heavyweight title belt, knocking him out, laying the belt on the ground, and hitting him with the Angel Wings right on to the World Heavyweight Championship belt, knocking him out. Then he lays on Jeff Hardy, gloats. Ladies and gentlemen, who still has it? Is it Jeff Hardy or is it Daniels? Ladies and gentlemen, I think Daniels, he still got it. And I think Daniels will be the next TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Again, my opinion. How do you feel about that, ladies and gentlemen? But we are going to move on, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot of show, and we have Gut Check. Ladies and gentlemen, Gut Check, Brian Cage and Jay Bradley. Now, we're going to run through this really quickly. Basically, the judges, Taz Pritchard and Al Snow, basically quickly eliminate Brian Cage. Now, if you checked out my last review, or my last recap, you know that I thought both of them were phenomenal. I thought they were both very good. It was a short match, but I really enjoyed the match. And what I really loved about this match, and what I really loved about Jay Bradley in particular, is that this guy is able to just get heat off the crowd. He's going to be a star. And well, let's just get into the vote. Basically, Taz says no to Jay Bradley. Al Snow and Pritchard both say yes. Jay Bradley is now an official member of the TNA roster. Now, I have some information regarding Jay Bradley, and I said this last week. Jay Bradley, remember what I said. Remember you heard it here at OneWrestling.com. Remember you heard it here at Big Ray's Wrestling Show. Jay Bradley will be, sooner than later, a major player, ladies and gentlemen, in TNA. He's going to make a major impact, no pun intended, well, maybe a little intended, but anyway, he's going to make a major impact in the Impact Zone for TNA Impact. Anyway, so Bradley is in. I thought it was I thought it was a good choice. I thought if the whole gut check thing wasn't a work, I thought Jay Bradley should have went over anyway. I thought he should have got the contract anyway. I thought he was a better in-ring performer. I like he's got the whole boomstick thing, basically the clothesline from hell. Jay Bradley, great choice. We're going to move on. We got Christian York versus Kenny King. Now, we know in the pay-per-view, Kenny King, after losing the match, hit Christian York with a reverse attitude adjustment. Okay. During this match, Christian York tries to do the same thing, but Kenny King is a little too smart, raking the eyes, rolling them up, pulling the tights. 1, 2, 3. Kenny King goes over Christian York, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this right now. My 2013 Rookie Heel of the Year has got to be Kenny King, man. Kenny King has got so much charisma, such great in-ring ability. Ladies and gentlemen, what is your opinion on Kenny King? I will say this. Before March, again, my opinion, I have a really good feeling that Kenny King will be the new X Division champion, beating RVD. Now, in regards to RVD, RVD is phenomenal. He's great. He's a legend. He's a hardcore legend. He's just a legend in the business. Say what you want to say. RVD has done it all in every major organization, except for WCW. Well, anyway. But the fact is that RVD is more of a TV title type guy. He's a guy that's been there, done that. You could put the TV title on RVD, and he could put over some young talent. The X Division should be for the Zema Ions and the Christian Yorks and the Kenny Kings and the Amazing Reds and the Shark Boys. Remember Shark Boy? Does anybody remember Shark Boy? What happened to Shark Boy? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we move on. And we go backstage and we see Hulk Hogan. He is not happy. He's questioned backstage regarding the fact whether he's going to walk Brooke down the aisle. No answer. Get out of my face, brother. Hulk Hogan back there. You see him back there? Hulk Hogan was not happy. Backstage, we have Taz, and Taz joins the fray in the back with the boys. Taz is going to be part of the wedding, the Bully Brooke wedding, and Bully Ray actually tells the guys that he spoke to Sting, and he asked Sting to do him, like we say, a solid, do him a favor. He needs Sting to talk to Hulk Hogan, to try to convince him to walk his daughter down the aisle. Well, Sting comes to the ring and calls Hulk Hogan down and makes a relatively compelling, what he said was true. Bully Ray has been there for us. He's defended TNA's honor. He's defended your daughter. You know what I'm saying? He's defended me. He's protected you. What does this guy have to do? Hulk Hogan doesn't give a definitive answer, but he does say he always does the right thing. Will Hulk Hogan walk Brooke down the aisle? We move on. We have the #1 contenders match for the TNA Knockout Championship. Now, if you watch the pay-per-view, you know that basically Velvet Sky pinned Gail Kim to become the #1 contender, but in review, Gail Kim's foot was under the rope before Terrence Harrell hit the 3 count. Well, funny, she technically actually gets a rematch. Does she deserve it? Sure, why not? Well, the match is towards the end, and Gail Kim actually hits Sky with the Eaten Defeat, pins her for the 1, the 2, and not so fast. Sky's foot is under the rope. Gail Kim loses it. Gets in the ref's face. Looks like she's about to beat the ref up. When Velvet Sky takes advantage, beats the living daylights, hits the butterfly wings. 1, 2, 3. Velvet Sky wins again. So it looks like it'll be Velvet Sky versus Terra down the road for the TNA Knockouts Division World Championship. Very, very interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Roode and Austin Aries seem like they're getting on the same page here. They get into the ring and they basically start putting each other over and putting themselves over to a point that they started to one up each other. You know, the greatest man who ever lived versus the It Factor. It was really, really good stuff on the mic. And what was really cool, and you have Chavo and Hernandez, the World Tag Team Champions, come into the ring. Now, Bobby Roode says some borderline, as we say in the hood, flagrant stuff. He basically calls Hernandez and Chavo the Mexican caterers, or the help. I almost lost it. I thought that was hilarious. Me being a Latino male, I didn't take offense to it. I thought it was great heel storytelling. Chavo Hernandez took exception to it, beating the living daylights out of Bobby Roode, basically chasing him out of the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, do we have a new feud brewing? Is Bobby Roode and Austin Aries, will they be the next tag team champions? Ladies and gentlemen, what do you feel? How do you feel about Bobby Roode and Austin Aries leading the tag team championship division? I think it would be awesome. Are they too big of stars? Is that even a word, bigger? Anyway, are they too big? Are they too big for the tag team division, or are Austin Aries and Bobby Roode just what the tag team division need? Ladies and gentlemen, please leave a comment below. I want to know what you think here at OneWrestling.com or YouTube /OneWrestling Video, or send me a message on Twitter at Big Ray's Show. We move on. Now we have Sting backstage with Hulk Hogan in the office, very quietly, and he, again, very compelling. He's really trying to convince the Hulkster to do the right thing and walk his daughter down the aisle. Hulk Hogan says he always does the right thing, but he's got to get out of here. And the wedding begins, and beautiful wedding it is. Bully Ray's in the ring with Taz and the boys, and they have the minister, and Brooke starts making her way down the aisle. She kind of looks over her shoulders, and who shows up? The Hulkster brother. Hulk Hogan does the right thing, walking his daughter down the aisle, giving her hand over in marriage to Bully Ray. The ceremony starts, and it was actually a nice ceremony. She says yes. Bully Ray happily says I do, and Taz grabs the mic, and Taz goes, "Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to do this?" I was like, what the hell's going on here? Why is Taz getting involved? He's like, I got this. They're trying to interrupt Taz. I got this. Are you sure you want to go through with this? I didn't know what the hell was going on there, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I said, in the biggest swerve, and one of the biggest swerves in TNA Impact history, Taz asked a question. Is it too hot in here? Removing his tuxedo and revealing an Aces and Eights leather vest. Ladies and gentlemen, Taz, a member of the Aces and Eights. The Aces and Eights swarm the ring, destroy everybody. Mike Knox and DOC is outside. They're holding Brooke's face. They're making her watch her father, her husband, her friends get destroyed by the Aces and Eights. What the hell is going on? Ladies and gentlemen, what possessed Taz to join the Aces and Eights? Or has Taz always been part of the Aces and Eights? Is Taz the vice president? Ladies and gentlemen, next week is going to be really interesting. I know a lot of people don't watch Impact Wrestling, and I'm going to actually say this. You know, we're all smart marks. We all get on the internet. We all read magazines. We all hear this and hear that. But did you see this one coming? Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling should surprise you. We shouldn't have to want to know, you know, who's coming, who's showing up, who's joining what faction, who's going to win a title, who's going over, who's a heel, who's a babyface. Ladies and gentlemen, it's professional wrestling. Enjoy it for what it is. Again, this is my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to know what your opinion is. Ladies and gentlemen, I say this every single week. I would do this for a living, but if I can't, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Big Ray's Wrestling Show. You can catch me here every week at OneWrestling.com or YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo. Please follow me on Twitter at Big Ray Show and check out the videos for Lady B, the NYC, from the NYC, and the legend Bill Apter. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Big Ray's Wrestling Show. I'm really interested to see what the heck is going on next week. I think TNA is stepping it up, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? I'll talk to you next week. Peace.